Hi there, and welcome to another Wine Steward video. And cheers. I know you can't see my whole beautiful face. That's because I wanted to show you my beautiful apron. It is a product of the Wine Steward. Look, it's got a price tag on it. If you want, I will autograph it with a Sharpie, so like it can be all rock star for you, and you'll have a real Wine Steward apron going on. Look, nice wine bottles. There's other beautiful aprons down there that aren't so winey, and they're even prettier than this. And yet, you can't really see my face and get to see my apron at the same time. So wouldn't you rather see the apron, right? But let's speak to this mess behind me. Here we are looking at a background of chaos because last night we had some pretty darn fun, chaotic wine times. It was a good time with a party of 14 people and at least 14 different wines. And we have a big mess to clean up. We, meaning everybody except me. I will instead work on a wine bar menu for y'all. And I now want to put these props in front of you. But stay on the subject very quickly, just a little bit longer, of events. You ought to be thinking toward the holidays. And as we are apparently allowed to have gatherings once more and feeling more and more courageous about getting together and hugging and kissing and whatever you do at your events, I want to tell you that you can do that up here on the mezzanine as long as you behave somewhat. Tyler and, or I should say Tyson and Eric barely behaved last night. And yet we all survived. I am ready to do this again tomorrow. This will happen again tomorrow, a larger format event for 36 people hanging around, lounge style. I will play bartender, pouring fantastic Brunello di Montalcino. There, now you can see my face. Brunello di Montalcino and Sancerre. That's the specific request of these folks who want to have this mezzanine all to themselves for their group. We hardly ever do this on a Friday night, but they're making it worth our while, and they're very, very, very good customers. And so we thought, why not close down the wine bar? We don't do this often. We want to let you know, the general public know, that unless this is the event that you're coming to, the wine bar will be closed tomorrow night, Friday night. Sorry, we don't do it very often. We're very apologetic. However, great customers need to be thanked, and that's what we're doing for 36 of them tomorrow evening, exclusively. So, that's what this mess in the background was reminding me to tell you, is that we're closed tomorrow night for a private event, and the event could be yours sometime in the near future. This coming holiday season, think about it. Do you want to do a thing on a Sunday evening? It's easier for us to do early in the week events or on Sunday evenings, because as you know, the wine bar is open to the public Thursday through Sunday afternoon until 5 p.m. So we have, we are usually committed to the public being up here during those times. But think about it, birthdays, corporate events, gatherings, this can all be yours. If you have a smaller group, that turnbuckle table behind us can be great for a group of 8 off to the side while other people are enjoying themselves on the other side of the room. It works very well. It's nice to have a little noise, happy noise, joyful noise going on here at the Wine Steward. So I've told you that we can do private events for you, and I've also told you that we're closed tomorrow night, Friday night, for one of those. And now let's tell you about these 2 glasses of rosé. And in fact, it is a great time for rosé because they are all finally here. Every rosé I've been wanting to buy for months and months and months. You know how those boats have been late? They're finally all here. You should see the display down there. We are swimming in pink. It's amazing. In fact, I am gonna put these on just for Paul and Teresa, who handed these to me last night and asked them to appear in the video. And I won't be wearing them for very long because I can't see a damn thing, except everything looks so rosy, rosé-ish. Me and the apron and these glasses, man, I should walk down Main Street and get me a cup of coffee at Starbucks and get kicked out of town. Off with these. That's enough of that. But what about this? Rosé, right? And I poured these 2 particular ones just to show you the extremes of rosé that we'll be pouring in this flight of 5 dry pink wines, including, that's the darkest one. Whoop, you can't see that. That's Domaine La Fonde. That's a Tavel, T-A-V-E-L. It's a wine region devoted entirely to rosé. That's right across the Rhone River from Châteauneuf-du-Pape. So Domaine La Fonde will be probably the darkest rosé poured. What's this guy over here? This would be Muga. Hey, we did a lot of Muga last night. We did a lot of Spain last night, including Muga, at this almost private event. This is Muga's beautiful rosé that uses, in fact, red and white grapes. So the way that they get this a little lighter is taking Garnacha, the red grape, and adding to it about 25-30% Viura, otherwise known as Macabeo. It's a white grape that grows in Rioja I should say it properly. And they come up with this super beautiful pale rosé. So between those two, you have the extremes of color, and between those two, you have 3 other rosés in the flight, and this is one of them. This is called Mueller. We want to show you different countries as well. So here, this takes us to Austria. For Mueller, it's made of Zweigelt. It's supposed to say Zweigelt, and if you don't, then you won't get any. This is Mueller Rosé made of Zweigelt from Austria. Delicious. And then what else should we do? Why don't we go back to France? No, let's tell you about that in a second, because I think this is the ultimate. It's my favorite of the batch. But this cool label here, it's back. Yes, the mermaid who is in need of corrective surgery, it seems, is back. This is made entirely of Frappato, which is grown in Sicily, Italy. So that island to the south of the mainland of Italy is the source of this beautifully labeled, newly arrived rosé. I told you the rosés are all here now. All these beautiful 21s are here waiting for you, including Rimoresque, one of my favorites absolutely every year. This is Cru Classé Rosé. There are only, I think, about 9 or 10 or maybe 11 producers of Cru Classé Rosé. Very classy. And it's the better stuff. At least these particular members of this group think so. And you can never actually join this group. You can only get kicked out, is what I've heard. Whatever. The product is fantastic. This is a fantastic quintessential Provence rosé that we'll probably finish the flight with. All right? I'll figure that out. I usually write the menu and then I get onto these videos, but this time we, meaning they, have a mess to clean up. I've got to get this video out. So, wow, these smell good. Lovely. You know, what we always start our wine bar menu with is sparkling wine, and I want to tell you that we have Paul of Pure Clos, Cremant de Bourgogne here. So Paul is an importer. He's a French guy who grew up in the Macon region of Burgundy, the sub-region of Burgundy to the south. And it is he and his family actually making this wine. So not only does he import it, but he goes back once a year and helps his mom and pop and brother make this if he has time. And this is great stuff. This is called Cremant de Bourgogne. It is made just like champagne. It uses Chardonnay, and I think there's a little bit of Gamay and perhaps Aligoté in it as well. He only makes 100 cases of this. I should say his mom and dad and brother do, because he's more involved over here by selling the stuff, you know. And this is Cremant de Bourgogne, made just like champagne. By the way, when you open a bottle of bubbly that has that wire cage on it, leave it on. Just loosen it, but leave it on. It's like tire chains giving you grip. You got better grip on this cork to twist that sucker off. This is so good. I'm going to prove it right now. 100 cases made. This is what makes the Wine Steward special, by working with small importers and small wineries. These guys may be half a world away, but we feel very close to them, and that we are small, they are small. Beautiful. And I'm pouring it in this glass. Look at that. You can do that. Why not? I know a champagne flute might be more appropriate for you, but I actually like to smell my sparkling wine, and sometimes in a big Burgundy glass, a sparkling wine from Burgundy is totally appropriate. Nice. Okay, so that's the sparkling wine of the week. We told you about the rosé flight. And how about an intermission to tell you about why this cheese is sitting here? There's always a prop to remind me to tell you things. So this is a piece of Gruyere, and we will be using it on the cheese platters for this Sunday. When Tom Switzer comes, our old friend Tom is coming to show the imports of another great small French importer, Charles Neal. So Charles comes every December to show you a bunch of champagnes and other great things from France. And Tom and I some years ago decided, why don't we have a summer version of that event where Charles does not come, but instead Tom and I sit up here, try not to fight, and tell you about 12 imports of Charles Neal, sans Charles. So he won't be here, but his wines will be Sancerre and Burgundy and Rhone, Champagne. Yeah, why not? We'll have one. And this event sold out. So why am I telling you about it? Because there's an overflow event. This thing sold out in an hour and a half. People went to thewinesteward.com, signed right up, and bam, we decided, let's do a second event 2 days thence. So on Tuesday, we're gonna redo it. And you can still go to thewinesteward.com and sign up for that event. We're about half full already. We've let you know via an email, now we're telling you via video, and I have a feeling we're gonna fill both events. And on the cheese platter that you can also order, your cheese and charcuterie platter will almost certainly include this beautiful French cheese called Comté. In Switzerland, they give it another name, Gruyere, but it's Comté on this side of the Alps. And this is the Alpine foothills where the cows are so happy, and they happily make this beautiful washed rind cheese. It is gorgeous. The only problem with it is after handling it, you really should wash your hands because they stink. But the cheese is delicious. This is what you make gougere with. I don't think I'm gonna make gougere until the December event, but you should look up a good gougere recipe. I can hand you one if you'd like, and make those French puffed cheesy things someday with great Comté cheese. That's why that's there. All right, the commercial's over. Now let's get back to the serious work of what's on the wine bar menu that I'm about to write. Cabernet of the week. Well, we just brought in 5 cases of this. Like, this is the little Cabernet that can or could, or it is brilliant cab for the low 20s, and it's all Napa Valley fruit. It's all single vineyard Napa Valley fruit from up in Calistoga. Romeo, Sempervive, whatever you want to call it. It's got 2 names, and it's great Napa Cab. It'll be offered by the glass only, by the glass, okay? Now, I thought what would be really cool, especially because all of the Bordeaux glasses in the store are dirty. They're over there. We used 2 glasses per person so people could do some side-by-side tasting for this Rioja thing. Rioja was the emphasis, and that was a great glass, the Bordeaux glass. So, we are gonna do a red flight that uses exclusively this glass. I am really hip to using the right set of acoustics, you could say, for the particular wine that we're serving you. And that Cremant is so good. So let's do a flight of wines that belong in this. We call it the New World Pinot Noir glass. And of course, Pinot Noir goes very well in it. So why don't we start with the Pinot Noir? A new vintage of Hitching Post has arrived, which reminds me that we really should put together a sideways tasting for you soon. We haven't done that in a while. And I think it's high time that we did Sideways. Again, Santa Barbara County, Sideways Country, named after the movie that came out way back in 2004. Can you believe it's been that long? That got a lot more people into Pinot Noir, that one movie. And it turned a lot of people off on Merlot, unhappily. But Merlot's coming back, damn it. But not today. Oh boy, this smells good. Hitching Post, Cork Dancer. One of the 2 guys who owns Hitching Post used to be a salmon fisherman up in Alaska, and Cork Dancer, I believe, is the name of the salmon that evades the net, like jumps over or something and gets away. Great, but what did I forget to do? Well, I did smell it a little bit. The whole idea behind this glass is wine smells so damn good out of it, you might forget to even drink the wine. I've got a shadow there, I apologize. Very nice. In this glass, it's perfect. I tell you what, if you had it in a Bordeaux glass, it wouldn't smell quite as good. Appropriate glass for this kind of wine. Now, wine number 2 on the flight. I'm still figuring out the sequence. I'll do that at my desk. This is a little unusual for us to do, whereas this is Rioja, and normally I put Rioja into a Bordeaux glass. But Faustino makes a very elegant, kind of lighter style Rioja. This is a 2010, it's 12 years old. And it is a Gran Reserva, meaning it has to be aged for 5 years before it's let out of the winery. It has to be in oak for 3 of those years, I believe. And yet it's not big oaky wine. All of this time of aging, 12 years now, has made this current release wine mellow. And the fruit, Tempranillo, has integrated with the flavors of the oak so nicely. It's one beautiful, seamlessly beautiful drink, and I have a feeling it's gonna do just fine in this glass. It's a hunch. I'll be proving it to myself soon. And then, why don't we go? Let's go to the Northern Rhone. We love Northern Rhone Syrah in this glass. This is not your Barossa Valley or Paso Robles style Syrah. This is the homeland of Syrah, where it's cooler and you've got granitic soil, and those 2 things add up to a wine that's fine and pretty, almost to the prettiness of a Pinot Noir. Just a little darker and a little heavier, but these wines are not meant to be massive. These Syrahs from here are more about finesse. So this is one of the best values we have from the Northern Rhone. Those wineries or wines often set you back quite a few bucks, but this one is just like right around 20 bucks. So not too bad for a Northern Rhone Syrah experience. Very nice stuff. Why don't we go next to Italy and show you a label that has a dog on it? Because we like labels with dogs on it, because we like dogs, don't we? And this is a Langhe Nebbiolo, meaning it's Nebbiolo from Piemonte in the Langhe general region of Langhe, L-A-N-G-H-E. And it is finesse. It is not heavy duty when we pour this in the glass, and I wouldn't do it right now, but it will look like this. It won't be any darker than that Pinot Noir that I have in there. Because Nebbiolo doesn't really give you a lot of color, but what it does give you is fragrance. And we ask you to smell this wine over and over and over again before tasting it, and then to possibly think about going home and making some ossobuco, which takes all day. But this wine would go so wonderfully with anything braised. So this is a brand new Langhe Nebbiolo for us that we want to introduce to you via the wine bar. Langhe Nebbiolo. Let's have yet another Syrah, but this one will be a little bigger. We bought this because it's a safely flavored Syrah. We know a lot of you are kind of like intimidated by the variety. You don't know what kind of Syrah you're gonna get when you pick up a bottle of it, and so you don't pick one up. Let's just tell you that Washington State excels with Syrah. This is a great wine in the mid-20s, I think, price point, and Novelty Hill does a very nice job of providing you with very anticipated, safe, delicious fruit-forward flavors. Not stupid fruit-forward, just very nicely balanced, but the wine is ripe and dark, and everybody will go nummy-num. They'll just like this wine. So it's a red flight that goes well in this glass. It's a rosé flight that will have me putting on these glasses once in a while. So even if I'm drinking white wine, everything will look so good through these rose-colored glasses. And then oh, you know what? There's one other wine. We have a Chardonnay of the week. This will happen in a glass form. We will not be tasting it as pours, but this is Geodesy. So we just recently introduced you to Geodesy Pinot Noir, which is in Oregon. This is another Oregon wine that is Chardonnay. It's made with a Dijon clone. It is gorgeous. We're going to be showing it to you as the Chardonnay of the week. How about that? And these things are going off. Well, thanks so much for watching. Kept it nice and brief this time, but do remember that rosé doesn't come in just one shade, and I won't put them back on, I promise. Have a good one. Thank you.